How's everybody doing? Wonderful, wonderful. It's a beautiful fall day. It's a very beautiful fall day. Just putting my sweater where it should be. Kind of off the shoulder. How's everybody doing? Welcome to Ascension. Welcome to all that we are becoming for a new earth. I do have a couple messages today. I took a bit of a channel this morning for just some of the new earth things that are coming up. And then we're going to talk more about the multidimensional bodies, maybe do another visualization. Those are always fun. And so I'll just take a deep breath. Lots of big energies today, lots of big energies. So when you're going through transition shifts in the spiral of ascension, it's really important that energies affect your multidimensional bodies. So this is the toroidal that you're sitting within, and the ascension spiral, which is an every now moment, and it doesn't, so anything that happens on these lower past histories, they're still cycling now, but you get to choose from a new space of intelligence and wisdom how to deal with the issues that just keep coming around. And until you've dealt with those karmic issues full, then they don't show up anymore. So it's just about standing in your power, reclaiming your light, and why we do the light work that we do. The chakras actually look like these discs, but they lay horizontally, right? They lay horizontally all the way up. So these are the discs of the chakras, and they hold lots of codes and information, and they sit on your spine and your pillar of light like this, and the pillar of light feeds the chakras, and so that they're spinning on your pillar of light like this. And then when you're, in their little, you see the little, and so light is constantly spiraling around. So why you see me do things with my hands in certain ways, and I'm just moving the light, I'm moving the light, I'm spinning my chakras, I'm clearing and cleansing my field. So all the things that I do with my hands are just parts of how I work with my field, the Reiki field, I guess. The omnipresent field of Source Creator, and the toroidal. The toroidal is this. The energies come up like this, and then it goes like this. So it's very similar. We're micro macro to the universe. The universe also sits on a toroidal, so it comes up from the bottom of the universe and up, and that's how Source feeds the light. So Source is responsible for, Source is the master alchemist. So anything that comes out of any universe or out of any timeline, Source then alchemizes and puts anybody where they need to be put. So it's really, that's obviously, Source is the master alchemist and the master magician. So it's just up to us just to release what no longer serves, making sure you're clearing and cleansing your field, and making sure that there's always, you're always updating it with your highest intentions and your highest focus of direction, intention, and focus of what you're creating for your timeline. And so anybody that wants to book any sessions for me for classes, webinars, lectures, collaborations, just go through PayPal and then mark your little comment in. Those that are, we wanted to talk about placing bets on God and against God. All of those that were involved in placing various bets in the black market and the black web, and all the underground stuff that's been done over the past few years about taking money. Hello from wherever you are around the world. Hello from wherever you are. Now, future, now moments, wherever you're calling from, wherever you're tuning in from, very welcome and hello. And so for those that have been placing bets, bids, and sellings and tradings, anybody that thought they had the right and the authority to do so, they're being very now sadly reminded about what and who God is and what and who I am. And all of the testing that's been going on, Source has said right from day one that Source will lift me, God will lift me. I don't have to do anything about any proving, just be myself, which I have been. And there are certain times where I have to come forward and I have to state certain liturgies for the collective, because I am the voice of the collective that will be moving certain authorities and certain higher order laws, because I do walk with Anubis. I'm also part of the higher order. So that we're moving on these things for the collective. So that's the channel that I have today. But we wanted to say, just as far as placing bets against God and all that we've been going through, if you go back to my videos for the past couple of years, it has been about those that have thought that they've played the hand over God and the monopoly over God and the chess over God. And God has placed everybody exactly where they've chosen to be through their own free will. Each and every one of these people were given infinite chances to do right. Everybody that was involved were given infinite chances. They were given infinite light opportunities, no matter where they sat on the vibrational scheme of energy. Everybody was given infinite chances with infinite things placed in front of them to, come to the forefront and do right and make right. But because of the way that the black underground is, the black web is, and all of those people that are not working from benevolent, integrous, they're working from malevolence, which is a wound. And so when you're not working from this benevolent space of your heart space and your truth and standing up for who you are as spirit, as I've shown those to be sticking up for myself right from day one, my story has been the same. And however people have twisted it and corrupted it and warped it, that's the trouble that they're in right now. And so many people will be going through their karma in very devastating ways, and they're doing whatever they can to get out of their trouble and their criminal experiences. How the black web works is that these people were making bets on my behalf of my life and my spirit. These people that have, as we've talked about from day one, how the dark occult must be changed and shift, because the light we're walking in right now is a 4D to 5D light. And so anything that is done in the corruption, anything that is done in the black web and making bets and deals and selling people to false marriages and selling people to be sacrificed, and what all the bets and deals that are done, which is against God, because everybody knows who I am and they've been told a billion times. As far as spell work, dark occult, any schemes, plots, and plans and bidding that you do on my name, against my name, everybody has been told a billion times. I am the Ark of the Covenant, and I am in representation of the heavens. I am representation of the highest royal family, and I am God in that respect. And as I say, my name is. And so therefore, thus then, if you choose to make bets against God, then you will be in the exact place of making a bet actually against God. And then you won't be protected by the light. You will not be protected by the galactic federations. You will not be protected by your ancestors, and you will not be protected by anybody that is on the higher light side. You will absolutely be in the karma that you have created. You will not be saved at the last minute. You will not have anybody come in and carry your karma. You will not have anybody come in and swap your deeds and take on your crimes and your criminal allegations. Spirit right now in all the realms is making sure that those that have been doing such bidding, betting, sacrificing, trafficking, RICO crimes, all of those things that have been done against my name, right up to the shadow governments, and why the governments are going through what they're going through right now, is kind of like a hanged man. Everybody's taking time out to see what's really going on. And those that have been taking part in the black web, shadow, government, human testing, human targeting, human Hunger Games, whatever you want to call it, they have been bets against God. And so far, thus then, all of the programs and all of their plots and all of the betting is coming down. And the sheaths are being ripped out from underneath them, and they will sit in the debts that they have owed. And whoever they have owed these monies to, based on them saying that they were sure that they could sacrifice me, those sacrifices that have now not there, they're now going back to the people that they owe money to. And so they're going to have to sort it out with the people that they have, made deals with, the devil, obviously. And so that's their lessons, and they're meant to live in that karma. I don't understand how being told and being shown and being offered the mathematics of their deeds. I don't understand how simple mathematics and quantum mathematics doesn't make sense to people. If you run into a brick wall 100 times head first, you're going to get brain damage. I don't understand how simple mathematics of these things are not quantifying to people. But I suppose these people will be the lesson for the rest of humanity, that there is a one creator God. The things that I teach are, obviously quantifiable, and they're showing themselves to be true and accurate. Again, I'm not here to work on anybody's beliefs. I don't care. There will be a sifting out and a shifting out. Those people that are not aligned with my work will be less and less available to my platforms. They will be shown other ways, and they'll be moved out and moved to the Epstein earth that they want to keep creating darkness. And so when you make bets against God, those that come forward only with the purity of their hearts, and I've only been here the purity of my hearts. I haven't run any romance schemes. I haven't run any false prophet schemes. Everything I've offered from day one has been exactly the same. My ascension classes have been the same level of intelligence and just adding on to the cumulative energies that I learn along the way. My sacred land travels, my sacred land activations, the clearing and cleansings that I do, my global teaching events, all of those things have been remaining the same beautiful being that I have always been. I've been authentic and truthful. That's who I am. But these groups of satanic and Luciferian people that have come against me to help me stretch who I am, I get a certain point of it. But even the Father in the heavens and all of the people in the galactic federations that do support me and my ancestors, many of my ancestors are now the ancestors from the ones that have been attacking me, because they're not being protected anymore. and they're now coming to assist me in my divine plan with the Father and Christ consciousness for Earth. And that has been the plan since 1987. And so again, these people that are in all these groups and the minion groups that are working for the shadow governments, that are working for all of the Epstein-like minions, Luciferian, satanic, warped Masons, all of these cults and covens that think and truly believe that what they're doing is going to pay them off. Even if you go and do a research for a few afternoons on what enlightenment is and when this started and the divine plan since the beginning of the Hopi, even the ancient Hopi tribes, this ascension was planned, and this ascension has been going on since the beginning of humanity. And so if you're not willing to do even a bit of research before you're betting your life and your families and your houses and your jobs and your careers and your reputations, you're betting and you're losing everything because you didn't choose to do information and research that is out there in the collective. And you chose to give everything to these lower vibrational, dark groupthink experiences and place bets against God. And you've been shown, everybody in these cults and covens have actually been shown the predictions. There's been over 50 sacrifices these people have done in various of their dark groups and sacrificing groups and Masonic groups from around the world, calling voodooists and practitioners from around the world. And I am standing and surviving and breathing and still teaching and still bringing through the godly force. So you have to see Interpol investigations. There has to be, again, our global research as to these beings that are continually doing what they're doing. Are they just weaponized demons with empty souls, and are they being directed by higher ups? And are they just, cloned human empty vessels that are being led on behalf of a higher directive of the shadow government? Because nobody in their right mind, you would think that 50 sacrifices and you're still betting your house and your children and your children's children, and you're sacrificing everything that you think you have sacrificial ownership of, and you don't, you never did, and you never will. As I've told you 1 billion times, you will never have ownership. Nobody on this planet, nobody in the galaxy has ownership over my destiny, my soul, where I get moved and where I don't get moved. Nobody does. You've been taught and told and shown, all of you have been shown in very specific, very, very, very spiritual ways. Your houses have been moving. Things in your houses have been moving and shaking to show you. If you continue doing what you are doing, you will literally remain for the rest of your eternal days in hell. And you're banking everything. And you think that you're going to fool God at the last second. And you think that just one day you're going to have the dead body of me show up on your TV screen because you think that your chanting is far more important than the Father's plan that has been planned since the very beginning of time. You think that you override God's plan since the very beginning of time. So there has to be research on our planet. What in anybody's belief system that thinks, or are these just empty vessels being directed by higher shadow governments that still want the light workers out of the way because we're calling out trafficking rings? And we're calling out these portals to the black web, underground children's sex porn rings. And who are these people who are the top dogs that are doing the directing of these cults and covens? That's why I've said from day one, take your stories to the police. I don't need your fucking stories. I don't want them. They mean nothing to me. I go by what God shows me, period. Your stories don't mean anything to me. Why? Because most of you live in lies. Your stories will mean nothing to me. They're nothing but lies. They're your version. You think you're going to bring me a higher truth than God? No. That's the difference between you and I. You live in a universe and you live in an experience and you live in your belief systems where there is no God, where you're betting on Satan to have override over God. And when you bet against God, you will lose your house. Literally. The vessel of your house, the body. Your heart, mind, body, and soul, which houses you, your body, your home, your house. And if you're stupid enough to put your children's name on a piece of paper to think that your children's spirit and soul is going to save you, then again, you're going to lose against the house. So there has to be research because there has been overwhelming, blatant showing of Mother, Father, Source, Creator. There's been blatant showing that I've survived your 2,000 plus rituals, your 200 selling me on the underground, 200 selling me of your various RICO crimes, false marriages, false this and false that. And I said in how many of my videos about 6 months ago. Now all of you are trying to scramble because all of you made bets with these black web people that are very dangerous, and you don't have any money to pay them because I'm still alive. Hello, still alive. Because you all very stupidly, very ignorantly, very arrogantly, very dumbly, very misogynistically, I could go on and on and on, because you're going around in the same karmic cycle, and you will bet yourself against God, which is what you've done, and you will absolutely be shown. You will lose everything, and all of you are. And you're doing very criminal things to see if you can get the money to pay the very dangerous people you owe money to, because I'm still alive. And Sarah, therefore, thus then, if you go back to my videos 6 months ago, you were all told 6 months ago, and to my ex, he was told at the very beginning of our divorce to get assessed. But ego and arrogance, that's the devil. Ego and arrogance. And when you play ego and arrogance in every moment of your day, and you're not working within your heart systems, and you're not working within your chakras, and you're not working within pure love, and you're not healing yourself, and you're not looking at the wounds on why you would do such things, why would any person that calls themselves a man of the house and a man of the family, why would any person that calls themselves righteous and leaders of their community, why would any man put their children's names on pieces of paper and sell them to people in the community of the black underwear and the black web and all of the people that they sell them to and how these things are done? Why would anybody do these things? If you call yourself a man of the house and you put your children's name on pieces of paper and you sell it to the black web and you have illegal cameras in your house for your children to be videotaped, you're never going to be a man of the house. You're a coward. And you have very corrupt wounding. And you will get your karma, and you will go to jail for exploitation. Anybody that has been using my name and my videos or my content, my verbiage, my illustrations, any of my intellectual properties, if you've been using anything of mine, if you've been making money on it, and the passing back and forth of whatever has been doing on the black web, every single one of you are getting karma. However, God and your higher self seems necessary. You will block everything. You'll block your health. You will block your abundance. You'll block anything you think about a relationship. And I feel very sad for anybody that's in any relationships with any of you that do these things. I just don't understand how people can live their lives from the black web, and you walk around and you think that you are this righteous person of community professional experiences. You live in lies, you live in masks, you live in aversions of facing who you are. Very dastardly, very corrupt, very broken, very wounded, very destructive, very demonic. And when you live those experiences, you're absolutely offering all of the demons and all of the entity attachments into your vessel. And you will die a slow death from the inside out. And you've offered it in. These are all your choices. Again, you have been offered the light in an infinite number of ways. That's how graceful God is. That's how much God loves you. God's not only put me in front of you, but God's put many other light workers in front of all of you. And you're given opportunity every day to sit and do the work, to do the healing that's necessary. But there are still people that have placed bets against God. When you place bets against God, and it doesn't matter where you go, whether it's your synagogue, whether it's your church, whether it's your underground of your church, whether it's your Masonic group, whether it's your cult or coven, whether it's your little orgies, and halfway through your orgies, you're making a bet on somebody else's energy, you absolutely will get that energy back times 10. Because we've talked about it long enough. You have no right to pull anybody else's energy into your private affairs. You don't. And you will get karma. We keep giving you the mathematics of what our quantum universe is. We are a one peoples, whether it be Islam, whether it be Canada, whether it be Judaism or Baha'i. We are one peoples. Go to a bigger umbrella, please. I will not talk about Islam. I will talk about the oneness of all that is. And if that bothers you, then you can move the channel. We are one peoples of love and creatorhood. Creatorhood is the one source creator. Muhammad is a God of the one creator. Buddha is a one God of the one creator. Just like we are children of the one creator. Your energies are small-minded. Go to the bigger umbrella. And if that bothers you, then find another channel. I've told you 100 times what my channel is about. Therefore, that's then. Go read, go do research, go watch a few videos. Stop wasting time of the masters, people. Everybody take a deep breath. This message is for those that have been doing bets and planning against my life and on my life, and those people that think they're going to come ahead and get a big paycheck. And then you're going to go take another European trip. And while you put your kids and your ex-wife's name down on a piece of paper or an insurance claim on a piece of paper. And again, if anybody does the investigation, which they're probably not because the whole city of Calgary is corrupt, anything that is in my name, I've signed nothing of anything to anybody and of anybody. And I would never give my name or my energy to anybody to talk over me, of me, or on my name. Nobody has a fucking right. There should be no insurance that claims with my name on it. There should be nothing with my name on it, except the divorce, which is already stamped by Calgary courts as of a year and a half ago. My story has been the same, people. Do the investigations. Anybody that is using my name in the underground of Black Web, all of you will lose. The Black Web will lose. The Black Web will be pulled as the little zit that it is of the humanity underbelly. It's a blackhead. And it will be pulled and plucked and squeezed out. All of you will lose. Your trafficking rings will lose. These are my predictions. Take this right now. We're calling in the highest holy heaven spirit. I'm calling in the highest energies of the Holy Mother and Father across all cultures, across all realms, across all peoples, across all universes, across all dimensions, across everything in the multiverse, because I am that I am and I have this authority. Everything that is in the black ground and the black web and the black underground and the black underbelly and whatever we want to call it, and doesn't matter what nation, doesn't matter what nationality, doesn't matter how poor the country might be, doesn't matter anything about anybody's beliefs. It is that it is. And if you choose to keep staying in darkness, if you choose to keep thinking that you're better than all things, if you choose to keep thinking that you are playing God over God and you're playing the hand over God and you're playing your one religion's God over God, it isn't. There is the source creator. Source creator has breathed all of your gods that sit in your synagogues and your churches. There is the one God, and it is the source creator. Believe what you want to believe, but it isn't the one all God. Period. He's just somebody that knows that religion a little bit more than you do and is here to teach it. That's fine. They're still not God. They're still not the creator. I'm calling judgment on the black web. I'm calling judgment on the groups that look to the black web for their business. And that includes the very top dogs and the very elites of the elites and the elites of the elites and the people that run that black web and where the monies are going that are in the black web. I'm calling judgment, judgment, judgment. Because I have that authority. Children don't deserve to be led astray and to be lured into community sex rings and RICO sex rings and RICO crimes. They don't deserve it. They look to the adults. They look to the adults as role models. And if there are adults in the collective right now that are refusing to get healed and are doing what you're doing because you're refusing to get healed and you are doing things that you know are absolutely criminal, you don't have the right to use other people's names. You don't have the right to use other people's energies. You don't have the right to use other people's spirits or souls. You don't have the right to sacrifice them. There is no God creator that would ever say, go sacrifice a person for your benevolence and your safety so that you can put them on an insurance claim or you can take a trip to Europe. There's no God in anywhere that would say that's okay. And any man and any woman and any cult leader or any black web that says, I'm going to pay you $100,000 to go take someone out on a sacrifice. You deserve the karma where you sit, and all of you will be going to jail. And all of you will somehow, some way have the exact karma that you have so stupidly put on pieces of paper and thinking you're God to put bets against God. And we're not talking about the gods that are in your churches. We're talking about the creator, source creator, the creator of all galaxies, of all star systems, of all planets, of all species. This is the department stores that all of you sit in and you get lost in. And you will be sat down every time because your soul wants you to grow. And I'm just here showing you what your soul keeps telling you. And if you keep going in the direction you are going to keep losing. And that's fine. That's your soul's I suppose that's your soul's path. You must learn through losing all the time. I suppose that's the way. When you just keep giving power to something that is meant to be much bigger. When you think that a black underground web that relies on the exploitation of innocent children and children's sex pornography and the horrible things that happen in the black web, if you think in all of your mind and all of the benevolence of all that is creation, if you actually think and you actually do a business plan about putting money in the black web and you actually think that you're going to win, you might want to go back and do your business plan again, because I'm telling you right now, unequivocally, each and every one of you will fail. And the billions and millions of dollars that each of you have in there, and your billions and millions of dollars, you think your invisible money going back and forth to sell children, to sell women, to sell these people that you have stripped and raped their souls and raped their minds through MK Ultra and the various things you do in your cults and covens to make these people numb and dumb and to never return back to source. You, each and every one of you, will absolutely lose. You will fail. That is the only quantum equal sign. That is the only quantum equal sign. Do the quantum math, but none of you will, because you come here to play your little arrogant games about who thinks who is God and the misogyny and the arrogance and all of these things. And none of you are ever going to ever feel the grace of God, and you will never pass my gates. And you will sit in the lower realms, which is the mud realms, which is the Epstein realms, and you're going to continue sitting in your lower darkness because you do not have the respect, you do not have the honor, you do not have the alignment, you do not have any of your chakras working. You're arrogant, bigoted, misogynistic, oligarchic, misguided people that think your smaller religions are going to dictate you through this ascension, and it won't. This ascension will have each and every one of you on your asses, because that's the arrogance. This whole entire process for the past 8 years, since I have been abused just because I asked for a divorce, to move away from these toxic, karmic people that think that they have ownership and handling over your life, and they don't. Whether it's the shadow government paying the cults and covens, whether it's the cults and covens choosing to do these things because they want easy money. They don't want to do the work themselves, so they rip people off. They do romance schemes, they do financial schemes, they do fraudulent schemes, they do whatever they can to get money the easy way. And they think it's the easy way, but it's not. All they have to do is go within and heal, which is what we've been talking about, same message. But you can say it 8 billion times, and you can give them all the light in the world, and you can show them all the light, all the colors, all the little pretty things, and you can show them everything. But they're still going to put that little piece of paper, and they're going to sell it to some mafia dude in the underground that says, I'm going to get $100,000 because I know I can sacrifice this person. And this person is highly spiritually ranked. Do you actually think that your deed of such low vibrational degradation, of such separation, of such hellishness, do you actually think that that one transaction is going to override God's plan for all of humanity, for the planet of the galaxy, to take away that we're just going to stop ascension because you put my name on a piece of paper? Do you honestly think that? Do you honestly think that the whole entire galaxy is going to stop ascension because you put somebody's name on a piece of paper because you want my gifts and skills and you want my spiritual clout? Do you honestly think? I want people to honestly think about who they are and what they're connected with. You're connected with the entire galaxy. Do you honestly think that your cult and coven has the power to stop all ascension for this entire universe? That's not even talking about the other universes I belong with. We all want you to get very clear about what you think your beliefs are and what you think that your God is connected to. Because I can guarantee, what's a number, Spirit? 75% of you. 75% of you, what you think about what your gods and what you've been told about your gods is absolutely incorrect and misguided. 75% of you. I speak 100% truth on what is happening. And if you think writing my name on a piece of paper to sacrifice me, to pillage me and rape me, and to take my skills and have me die in your veins and have the blood drip from my soul as your little vampires and your little cannibalists eat my whole parts and my bodies and my souls around me. I know what you have said behind closed doors. I know your little dark little secrets and what you have said and what you think is true or not. I know what goes on behind your closed doors. Nothing is hidden. If you think that that one little piece of paper with my name, passing it back and forth, and you think you're going to get $100,000 or $1 million to take me out, you are so wrong. You are so wrong. You actually think that the multiverse is going to stop ascension because you want to take me out, because you want money. And you know what? You're culpable on every level, and each and every one of you will be held under contempt of court for the perjury and for the bearing of false witness, and each and every one of you will be under the criminal justice and the criminal laws for premeditated murder, because none of you have a right. And when you go in agreement and write anybody's name on a piece of paper, even a verbal agreement is held accountable in a court of law. And you've just sold your house, you've sold everything to your ignorance of being misguided by small vibrational beliefs of what cults and covens and churches and whatever deities you think you pray to and whatever graveyard dirt you're throwing on anything. It ain't bigger than the multiverse ascension, I'll tell you that right now. It's laughable. So what do you do in hiding? Are you truly bent on giving the rest of your lives and everything that you think you believe in to a cult or coven, to people that are misguided, doing kitchen magic? And you think that's going to override God, the one creator of all planets, of Jupiter? I want you to go to your astronomy. I want you to go to your astronomy, and I want you to look up, how big is Earth compared to Jupiter? Now, the source creator, just by a breath, creates Jupiter. That's how masterful Source is at manifesting. Source can manifest Jupiter just within a breath. Again, I don't care about your beliefs, but I'm telling you in the quantum mathematics, if Jupiter is that big and Jupiter just sits there so perfectly spiraling as Jupiter does in the galaxy that is our galaxy, the Milky Way, and if you think that our ascension is going to stop, that's what you think. If that's truly what you think, put it on a piece of paper, and I want you to start all over and start to learn bigger math. If you actually think Jupiter's going to stop spinning in this new ascension of this new dimensional bedding because you're putting my name on a piece of paper and I belong to all universes, and if you think that you override God in that one mathematic equation of my quantumness and my quantum importance, I want you to actually say that to yourself and see how stupid it sounds. Every person that belongs to the Black Web Underground, judgment. Judgment, judgment, judgment. Judgment to your snuff videos, judgment to your ignorance, judgment to your not pulling your head out of the sand and taking one course in quantum math. And if you actually look at your galaxy and what you are connected with, each and every one of you will absolutely find yourselves waking up to a very grim reality that you have taken yourselves into the Epstein Earth and you will never ever come out. You will never have another 3D incarnation because there is no more 3D timelines. You won't have another body again because you didn't earn it. Your consciousness is just not there. You're far too dark. You have not earned any light in your body. Therefore, that's why you keep coming to my channel, because all my channel is about is light. All my channel is about is evolution of the soul. And I'm coming bringing these dictations and these liturgies for all of humanity because I speak on behalf of the one collective heart. If Source says put out a channel, I put out a channel. That's Source, that's God working through me, as me. I am that I am. If you have any qualms about that, take that up with God, the God. Not the one that sits in your church, but the God, the Creator. Ask to speak to the Creator. The Creator that gives you breath. The Creator that is in your DNA, that knows all your timelines. Your church doesn't know all your timelines. I'll guarantee you that. 75% of you have been misled. So how important is that you're believing these things to sell your children away, to sell your homes away, to sell everything that you've ever thought or known because you think you're going to stop creation and pluck this one divine feminine starseed that has a platform of 2,000 on YouTube. Again, if you do the math on what you do, you will find out how absolutely ignorant it is of what you're doing. How YouTube, a $450 billion company, is paid. YouTube is paid a $450 billion company. The people in YouTube that are being paid by 3 separate church and state conglomerates to silence me. This, when it is said in the highest of the highest courts, is laughable. My platform subscribership is 2,000, and a $450 billion company is being paid while I sit homeless and I sit with nothing. This is how egregious enslavement is, slavery is, discrimination is. This is how disgustingly, blatantly abhorrent the leadership on this planet has been. And it's shown to you every hour. We must awaken to see the grandioseness of who we are and what we exist within and what is within us and anyone. I will not waste any more time on this because you've taken up my entire life of 50 years to play fabricated, deceitful, shadow government lies about who I am and trying to hide from me who I am. And if you don't think that the God that tells me and guides me and lifts me into any dimension that I choose just to keep me safe and has a billion light ships around me at all times to keep me safe, that allows me to sleep on the streets at night and keep me safe against the however many is in the black underground that want to take me out, I'm still here. Hi. Hi. Still an angel. Still an angel, going to teach what I'm going to teach because my destiny is far bigger than your little pieces of paper, and you're going to say, how much is it taking to take me out? What's the current number, Spirit? About 150,000? A few people are throwing around a bit more numbers. So go back to the drawing board, and if you absolutely think that the multiverse that I belong with, you think that the multiverse and all of the beings and all of the energies and all of the councils and all the starseeds and all the celestials and every single planet I belong with, if you actually think that your transaction will stop the multiverse ascension for humanity that was meant to happen a long time ago. I was meant to be living my best life a long time ago. And if you think in the arrogance of you that you're going to override such, you deserve to be in the karma that you will sit in. And I will see all of you in the highest court for premeditated murder. Because there is so much evidence out there on what all of you have been doing. And this is exactly where God wanted you. And I ask you yet again, if you think you are placing bets against God, you have no idea what will show up at the last second that will prove everything unequivocally in the highest of courts, that each and every one of you have been absolutely involved 100% in premeditated murder for weeks and weeks and years and years and years and years at a time. And the paperwork will show up, and the whistleblowers will show up, and the highest of the courts and judges will be moved, and the right judges will be in place, and everything will be just like that. Why? Because God is in the hearts of every single one of you. And if something needs to be said and if something needs to be shown, it absolutely will. You do not play bets against God. And if you do, you deserve exactly where you sit. We've made it so blatantly clear, and each and every one of you just want to play arrogant. You want to play arrogance against God, then you will be the lesson for all others. Because it's time for everyone to step beyond what has ever been taught or told about who you are, what you exist within, and what's going on within you. And how much power and how much energy and how much money have you given to the churches that have been misguiding you? And to the statespeople that have been misguiding you? And the politicians that have been misguiding you? And how much money has been put towards defense programs? But how much money is being put towards higher light wisdoms and intelligent teachings? How much? So none of you do research. None of you do the research. You just get on because you're paid and you come and throw a few things around, and the Interpol is watching every one of your IP addresses, and you deserve the karma where you sit. Because you don't do research, you're not connected to anything but how you get paid in your little tiny world. Those of you that come on to spew hate and to come on in your organized global crime that you are, you will never ever be greater and more important than God, ever. You will never be the hand that writes as to what goes and what does not go on the planet of ascension for all of humanity. It won't. Your RICO crime rings will go down. Trafficking rings are going down. The black web is the pimple that it is. The underbelly of humanity is going down, plucked and pulled. Anybody that is writing my name on anything that is not a collaboration, an agreement that has been designed by God and allowed by God and included with God, you will not see me, you will not step before me, and your malevolence will never touch me, because your malevolence is your malevolence. You've been told, I'm not on your reality, therefore that's then, it won't even touch me. The energy cannot even find me. I'm not on your energy, I'm not on your realm. I'm being placed before you as a guide and an angel. Alter course immediately, or you're gonna sit where you sit, and you never come out of it. You just won't. You haven't earned the consciousness. You cannot go from a very, very dark place to a 5D consciousness overnight. You can't. You would go insane. You have to earn the consciousness of where I sit. And you have to have bowing respect to those that are placed before you, to think that maybe this person knows a little bit more than I do. Maybe I should be a little bit more humble. Maybe I should place a little bit more respect on people that have been guided to me by the divine one creator. I don't know, maybe the creator knows a little bit more than you do in your little cults and covens, in your little jar work and your mirror work. The arrogance, it's unbelievable. We've been talking about this for 6 years, and we've been bringing blatant, absolute proof. YouTube is going to be charged, and YouTube absolutely will sit in its karma. All the shadow government and everybody involved that is still not bringing me my birth documents and has been involved in the fabrication and hiring minions to come against me and attack me every day. Those people that are still coming to attack me on your sacrifices and your little magic work and your little sex orgies and whatever it is you think you're doing, each and every one of you are getting karma times 10 every day, times 10 every day, times 10 every day. That is my ranking. You don't have a right to keep playing with my name when I said stop. Each and every one of you will be charged with premeditated murder. Each and every one of you, because each and every one of you know what you took money for. You know what you're doing when you're signing the piece of papers. You know what you're doing when you're talking to the black web underground people. All of you absolutely know what you're doing. And if you're not going to the authorities to say what you know and about who's doing what and what's doing who, and if you're not doing this, if you're not going against the heating of God, if you're not going against the heating of your higher spirits, you're not going against the heating of anything that makes logical sense. And if you choose not to do that, all of you just deserve to sit exactly where you sit. Your karma is deserved. And it's not nobody's fault but your own. Who absolutely in their right mind calls themselves a person of the house when you're putting your children's sacrificial names down? How? It's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling that people actually think, that people actually believe that sacrificing children, using children's energy, veiling and cloaking children, and using children in sex pornography, any of you think that you're going to be blessed and you're going to be moved through the heaven's gate on doing any of these things against the highest order laws, basic human laws, basic do unto others. These are very basic laws of life. All of you will be shifted, and you will sit and play out your games, and you will play out your little ego power trips and your misogynistic power trips and your oligarchic power trips on how you think that your money and your ranking and your little suits of all your disconnected chakras and your disconnected minds and your disconnected souls, because none of you absolutely know anything, because you haven't done 1 ounce of research. You haven't done 1 ounce of ingathering. You haven't done 1 ounce of going within yourself. None of you absolutely know anything. All you care about is money. And that money will not get you through the gates of ascension nor heaven. Because you don't care. You don't care about humanity. You don't care about the children. You don't care about anything but what goes in your pocket. And if you're going to watch a snuff video and you think that's okay, you deserve to sit where you sit. We're not on the same world. We're not on the same planet. Bye. See ya. You're not going to step before me. You will not stand before me. You're not worthy to stand before me. How dare you take Spirit's life? How dare you to take the innocent life and think that you have power over it to write it? You don't. You never will, and you never did. Source was giving you a chance and an opportunity to come into eternal life. Eternal life, which means you have eternal life on all planets, all realms, all dimensions, all bodies, all forms. That's infinite opportunities to experience the infinite abundance of Source. And all you care about is a little sacrificial money? Again, the abundance of the all, or sacrificial money, and jail, because it's premeditated murder. You're taking people's lives out to pay your bills because you don't want to get healed. So sit where you sit. You all deserve where you sit. Because all of you watch me every day to find out what's the prediction. The predictions are the same that I said 6 years ago. You play in the Masonic warped group, you play in the shadow government, you play in all these little things. These are not bigger than humanity's ascension. We told you that from day one. They're not bigger than that. The church and state rules are not bigger than the universal laws. It's not, it never will be. I speak truth, and if that bothers you, take that up with God. Go actually within and have a respectful conversation with God. And you will see that everything that is in your reality is just a smaller version of what the Creator actually is. That's all we're saying. The Creator is bigger than anything you see before you, because it was created from 3D minds, 3D beliefs. Aren't you bigger than that? Don't you want to be bigger than that? Intellectually? Quantumly, vibrationally, intellectually, emotionally, spiritually, physically, sexually? Don't you want to be bigger than that? This is judgment time, people, and everybody's getting it. Therefore, thus then, if you bet against God, you deserve where you sit. I've come here being exactly who I have been for the past 17 years, and I've said nothing but the truth. I deserve to have a divorce if I don't love the person that I'm with and it's nothing but lies and abuse. I deserve to have my divorce. I deserve to have my voice heard. I deserve to stand as in a leadership position however I so choose, as it is written with God since the beginning of time, because I belong to all universes. Who are you? Who is anybody on this planet to state who I am and what my potential will be and where I belong to be with and who I belong to walk with? Who is anybody in a 3D body? Again, the arrogance. The arrogance is just mind-numbing. Anybody that thinks they have a say over any woman or any child, you will be shown in any way between now and next week that you are not anything that is godly. And you might want to get your beliefs intact because your ego is overrunning and you will fall failure after failure after failure after failure. You don't have any say on sacred life, and I'm calling it. That's my jurisdiction. I am the higher order on this planet, and I will bring the higher order on this planet. That is my destiny. And no amount of sacrifice is going to change that. The children don't deserve to be tricked and fooled and lied to and manipulated. They don't deserve to have their bodies ravaged by adults that refuse to get healed, that are using them as a token, as a piece of meat. How dare all of you? Military programs of MK Ultra, biological, technological warfare. How dare all of you? You don't have one right. There is no human law that says this is okay. There is no universal law that says this is okay. Each and every one of you will get your karma. I don't give a crap about the things on your badges because you're not looking after humanity if that's what you are doing. All of you know about trafficking and all of you see it and sense it somehow, some way. And some of you are directly related in it and you watch me. And I've been telling you from day one, if you do not alter course, each and every one of you will go down. You choose your way. That's how your ignorance is on the betting against God. And you will be the lessons for all other humanity. Ascension will not stop because you want to make a bit of money because you made promises to people you can't get out of. The children don't deserve to be guided by such abhorrent, bad role models. If you live in the black web underground, you will be seeing failure after failure after failure. My word is, from this moment on in all spiritual realms and etheric realms and heavenly realms and the underground and the lower realms that I also have entities and deities of all kinds. We're calling a stop and a judgment today. The underground and the black web will begin to see it slowing. It will begin to see it's blocking. It will begin to see it sabotaging and it's pulling and it's corrupting. And everybody involved will be plucked. Pluck, 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 pluck. You've all had enough time. You don't need a council and you don't need a high judge to come to you and say, selling children in pornography is not okay. You're guilty. You are guilty and you will face your charges. Selling children and transporting them back and forth in trucks and transporting them back and forth in crates and on ships. That doesn't take a judge of the high court to say that's not okay, that's illegal. Do unto others. How hard is that? 3 words, people. This is your final judgment. This is your final judgment, and this is my ranking. All of you have been told numerous times, take these next 3 days as your hangman mode. There will be a pulling of everything that is corrupt and everything that is abusive against the hand of God and all that is God's life. The higher creator of Jupiter and all galaxies and all universes and all realms, I am that voice. You don't have a right to keep corrupting and degrading and ripping apart these children's bodies for your sick, undeniable refusal to face your wounds. Get healed, adults. Get healed. These children do not deserve what you have put them through. And are you even considering how these children will be healed? That's how selfish and arrogant you are, because you don't care about life at all. Every single one of you, across all lands, all realms, all countries, all websites, every single time you click send on paying and subscribing and looking at child pornography, every single one of you, you will be brought down. This is my word. Ancestors of all realms, ancestors of all layers, commence this and have it work for the higher councils of all that is. We will move forward. with ascension for all of humanity. These things have been the most disgusting, and we must face it on how, why, and where, in what way we ever thought any of this was okay. If you can spend billions on a defense program, you can pull up the black web. And why and how hasn't been done already? These leaders have great power, and yet the black web continues. Each and every one of you will face your judgment. Your health will stop. The money going in and out of your households will stop. Everything that you find passionate and you care about, whether it's making your big money off very illegal things, each and every one of you will find stops and blockages. This is my word, and you know that is my ranking. All of you know that. All of you know that. If you do not alter course, each and every one of you will be found exactly where you will be found because you've continued to do what we've said stop. These children don't deserve to have their lives and destinies ripped out from them because you don't want to get healed. Raping children, using children, selling sacrifices, putting women's names down, putting children's names down to sell them back and forth to false marriages. All of these things are illegal, and why you do it in the underground. You will no longer touch another person's life. The right use of free will and non-interference is the #1 law. That's what we are guided by from here on out. Because your laws and your rules and your churches and your little segregations that you think are more powerful than God, it isn't. You will never, ever win, ever. Universal laws are. I speak for it. And I for every voice of every child. There will be no more enslavement on this planet. You will not inhibit the smart and the wise and the light bodies. You will not enforce us into your microwave magic and tearing down our chakras. You will not send us 150 voodooists and black warlocks and black witches so that they can disrupt us and sabotage us and make sure that every form of income is strapped off from us. There's no reason why I should be here, but I am. Why? Because I am the higher order. God has a higher plan. And maybe if you cared a little bit about yourself, you would see that higher plan for you, which is the same thing we've been pressing since day one. Don't you think that a higher blueprint for you would be a lot more than a black web the rest of your life in hell? And that is the quantum equation. And these people are calling themselves elite and community people and the righteous. And yet you're taking money, you're taking bribes, you're taking illusions, you're taking magic, you're taking all of these things, 150 people just in my life case. All of you knew exactly what you were doing when you took the money, when you took the spell work, when you took the bribes, and when you're doing whatever it is you're doing against me. You played your hand against God. How's that working for you? How's it working for you? I haven't received 1 penny. I haven't received my birth documents. You're going to continue getting karma, and it won't stop. And God will continue lifting me. There is an ascension going on, dear lighted ones, and it is multiversal. Whatever's happening here on earth is not more powerful. It does not have greater signing authority than the Creator that writes your life in every dimension you belong to. Perhaps you start working with the Creator, if you so wish. Always free will. Again, I don't care about your beliefs. I'm telling you what actually is quantumly truth. So thank you for that. We're going to have one channel that I did here about LGBTQIA2S+. That's the proper titles that I've been given right now. So I just wanted to say that because I know that I have mistaken it in the past, and I want my heartfelt apologies. LGBTQIA2S+. Okay, this is the channel I got from Source. I am the higher order. I'm bringing it here to Earth. Yay! Variations. So we just want to understand, for the collective going further, right? Going further, all that we are is light, and all the chakras that we have that show us all the realms we've been in, all the timelines, all the realms, all the hybrid species we belong to. Many of us are Syrian, many of us are Octarian. We all have those in our DNA. We all have them in our codons. We are becoming our higher vibrational 5D celestial diverse beings of spirited humans. And when you're spirited humans means what? When you're a spirit human, that means you're carrying all of your DNA from all of the timelines and all the earths and all the planets that you've ever belonged to, and you're now integrating it to a now moment of 5D. So you're becoming fully soul integrated, fully soul harvested in your own heart. You're harvesting your own soul fragments, you're healing them, and you're bringing them back to now. You are only doing it with you. Nobody else touches you. All of these things are coming back to you, and you're now offering it in this now diverse experience of who you are. You're now a new soul that's had all of the culminations from any past, but it's all now. And you're becoming a new version of you, becoming more diverse. You're becoming more hybridized, if you will, because as I told you in my earlier experience, when I integrated that Arcturian version of me, that Arcturian version of me then culminated and it began that now spiral in this human body of mine, now becoming more hybridized. Because I'm carrying on those Arcturian energies, those gifts, those skills, those talents to become a now whole version of me. We want to put that in regards to the world leaders that listen to me, the world leaders that sign on. Thank you. Hi, how very much. Thank you. I'm glad that you're with me. Knowing that each and every one of us are very complex beings that exist within toroidal and energy systems. These are the quantum mathematics of who you are. And if you're not balanced, and if you're not healed, then there will be not the light. It will not work in similitude. It will not work in beautiful flowing patterns. It will be very chaotic and it will be like lightning streaks. That's how chaos looks to a healer. That's how being unhealed in your toroidal field. It doesn't look smooth. It doesn't look honoring. There is no real flow. It's not in beautiful circles and it's not in the beautiful alignment. It's very chaotic and it's very lightning streaks. It looks like rips and tears. That's what an unhealed body looks like due to dark beliefs, separation, fear, domination, and all of the warped things that go on in the dark underground. And that's fine. That's your belief. That's those paths you had. There's nothing wrong with it, but you can at any time say, okay, enough is enough. We have to face what's going on the planet. We have to face the different corruptions, and then we have to accept it and integrate it. Those are the 3 A's, which equal the 4th A of alchemy. You have to alchemize all of these things that are in your reality. It is your reality. We all helped assist in manifesting what is going to be facing us. And why the governments have to take a little bit of time off, because the governments and broken systems cannot continue moving in higher vibrational light, which we've been saying for 15 years. We're now at a point where we're actually seeing the manifestations of what we've been talking about and what we've been teaching. But everybody's been like, oh no, that's not going to happen. We're just going to keep continuing. And they're living in like Pollyanna rose-colored glasses world. Well, that's okay. But there is a point in time where the light will actually show you all. The light is showing you all. There is quantum truths to ascension. You're either going to practice ascension and you're going to keep doing what you're doing and integrating all those fragments of you, or you're going to live in the lesser than, and then you're going to be moved off because you haven't earned the consciousness. Your consciousness is all of these fields. Your consciousness is understanding what you exist within, what's going on within you, and what's on the outside of you. That's consciousness, your godliness. Are you living like a god, or are you just buying and selling life? That's not, is that godly? Is that going to get you higher consciousness? Is the pornography of children going to get you higher consciousness? Is putting a person's name on a piece of paper and giving it to some mafia dude and having them going to pay you $100,000 because they run a trafficking ring, because they want to take me up because I speak about trafficking is going to close, whether I'm here or not, the light will ensure that every ring will come out. I'm merely the voice that is speaking the quantum truths that you are not understanding, that you're not seeing, and you're not connected with. I am the voice of truth. It matters not if I am here. Every ring will be pulled up and everybody will be known, because the light is just that powerful. The light against something dark, the dark will be seen. It's the quantum truth I'm speaking of. I'm just speaking it. I'm the body that speaks it. I'm the voice that speaks it. It's still going to happen whether I'm here or not. The light will bathe everything that is dark and it's going to get pulled up. It cannot compete. Darkness cannot compete with light. There's no competition. You can tell somebody that's dark when all they do is live in the dark. You can tell it. You can tell it a mile away. It can be seen. That's the light. The light is going to hit that trafficking ring. It's going to be like, what the fuck? No, there's something going on here. It has to be pulled up. And it doesn't matter, again, if the politicians and everybody that says they're in an official position going to try and fabricate and going to try and do this and keep doing more crimes so that they never get out of their accountability. No, you will be accountable. You absolutely will be accountable. Everybody will be accountable for their deeds. You cannot move in soul's progression without being accountable to your deeds of your past cycle. These are soul vibrational truths. These are soul truths. We're now speaking about it in human form right now because we're going through a planetary ascension. And in human form, we now get to ascend without having to die, to come back into another form, into a higher consciousness. We actually get to go through ascension all on our own in our bodies. And we actually get to learn about the higher truths and higher order. We actually get to learn about what is my soul's progression. Do I have a destiny? What is my soul's blueprint? What am I really connected to? How many realms am I connected to? How many universes am I connected to? Boy, I'm really profound. Why would such a low vibrational black cult, underground trafficking ring of pornography, why would that be more important than your soul's destiny is connected to the multiverse? Why would that be more important? See what I'm saying? It's not logical. The quantum math is not logical, and it will fail. And why everything is being shut down. Because it's broken, it's dark, it's disconjointed, it's not flowing, it's not aligned, it's not working within the sacred Trinity, it's not working within the basic universal laws. Therefore, thus then, it will shut down. You will have no flow of abundance, you will have no flow of health. If you do not run light through your body, your body will get sick. If you have no light in your body, you don't care about light, you're not talking with light, you're not talking with spirit, you're not connecting with spirit, you're not breathing in spirit, your body will be ill of health. Your matter body, your bones and your tissue require light to move in a continuance of eternal life. Otherwise, it will be entropy. Go look these words up. Go look up the word entropy. Go look up and watch videos about life forms like plants and like animals that are not given life. If they are not given light and life, then they will die. That's called entropy. You're just in continual cycles of death. And that's fine. That's your choice, and you can be a lesson for the rest of us. But the rest of the collective of 8 billion people deserve to know higher light wisdoms. And even if I'm here or I'm not here, the light will keep bathing, and people will continue to see that we have not been told everything we should have been told, that there have been absolute programs of human enslavement, that there have been programs of suppressing and depressing and repressing information that can save billions of people every day, and it's still being suppressed. And why in the world would a $450 billion company get paid by 3 separate church and state conglomerates to silence a subscriber list of 2,000, one divine feminine healer? You would have to think in all logical explanations if you were in a high court right now and I was the plaintiff and there was a defendant. And you would have to place all of the evidence on the table. And the high court judge would say, that is the hand of God. Does it sound plausible and does it sound absolutely in legal resonance that a $450 billion company that says that it works on behalf of humanity and it follows the human rights laws of freedom of expression, that it doesn't matter what global leader may state anything, it doesn't matter what bills are passed, it doesn't matter what president signs what, it does not matter. The hand of God and the hand of creation and the hand of evolution states that it is now time for us to evolve, and no person on this planet ever says or ever has the right to say your expression doesn't matter. What right does $450 billion company have to even take more money from those people that want me silenced and to want me to go away and never get up again? None of these people, a $450 billion company does not have an ounce, doesn't have a breath to the hand of God. Humanity will ascend, humanity will evolve, and our evolution requires and absolutely is the foundation of our freedom of expression, and it will continue. And you can pass as many bills as you think you're going to pass by your legislature or by your 3D politicians, and your 3D politicians will lose. And if you take these people to court, you will absolutely win if you work on behalf of your alignment with Source Creator. And Source Creator will ensure that your freedom of expression and your human rights and your universal laws will supersede any earthly court. I guarantee you that. Because you stand on higher order. When you are speaking on behalf of your spirit and your rights have been trespassed and your word has been trespassed and your absolutely right to bare minimum basic human rights have been trespassed upon my life, 17 federal crimes. And every day there's more fabrication, there's more lies, and there's more deceits, and they're trying to get out of what everybody has done on my one case so that they don't have to pay me. You better bet every penny will come back to me, and every single person involved will be held accountable. Because none of you had an ounce of right. And if you see the evidence on the high court, it's laughable. The higher courts are laughing at how arrogant and enslaved that you have gotten away with for so very long. The elitism, the bigotry of the false churches and the false people standing in the false churches and how much money they're making. It has been pure enslavement, and you have been working the best, lightest, greatest people on this planet like slaves for you. The person before you, dear lighted one, is an angel of the heavens of the highest high court, and you have treated her like she has been a piece of meat to sell and trade and bet and bid against. And she's been living on the street because of all of you. Because of all of you that think your little plans and your little agendas and you're hiding this and hiding that, the Vatican and all the people that you think you're so righteous. And you're paying money to companies and conglomerates to absolutely silence her so that the planet doesn't see her. The planet will never ever see her. Guess what? The higher order of God is, and none of you have an ounce of right and none of you have an ounce of power. You have misplaced your power. And this is your lesson. All of you on the planet that think that you are so elite and think that you are so powerful, your lesson is your false misguidance, your lack of truth, your lack of alignment with God, your lack of alignment with love for your fellow human. None of you have any idea what true power is. I am true power. I don't have $450 billion, and I stand and I speak the word of God. And it might be a God that's different from your God. I still accept your God, but I don't force you, and I don't make you, and I don't sacrifice you, and I don't put poisons on you, and I don't do spell work or jar work or black magic or voodoo on you every day. I don't do weaponry. I don't do any of these things. I sit and I pray with the planet and I work under the word of God and the line of God and the absolute sananda of my teachings of Metatronic light. That's who I am. That's what I've always been. But everybody and their dog has seemed to think that they have higher order and betting against God. They think that they have a hand over God. So be it. Sit in your arrogance and you will see where that gets you. And you will lose every time, as you have, and you will. There will be no flow of abundance or health. You will find things slowly shut down and move away and block off and disappear, because that is God. And anybody and all peoples paying anybody to silence and suppress me, you will also fail. And your health and everything you belong with and everything you think is important, the most important things you think about, are going to be blocked off and slowed down and moving away from you. And all of these lower dark aspects will be shifted off, as God always does. The master alchemist and the master magician, that's God. And they will be shifted to a planet and to a place where all of you can play your dark little games, and you can play your nuclear warfare, and you're putting nuclear weapons in the oceans, and you can see how long you last with nuclear energy in your water. And you want to play all these little games of human testing and human experimenting and see how much any given person can take with radiation in their body and destroy their lives and destroy their destinies and have their parents sign somewhat legal forms to give their children away for your illegal government human testing. Has anybody heard about the boy with a hole in his head? The government is absolutely responsible for this, and there's many studies like this. MK Ultra, Project Stargate. How much can one little boy of any color that the boy may sit in, and any DNA the boy may sit in, and the parents are given a contract by so-called government agencies that want to start human testing to see how much radiation any one given person can take, whether it's a black person or a white person or a Hispanic or Filipino. It doesn't matter how these people sign up for these agendas and for these contracts and for these testings and for these programs. There's hundreds of them like it all around the planet. And you're signing yourself up for imminent death and failure because you've signed that sacred life away to these government people that don't have one care for you or your child, that you have just said, you can take my child and do whatever you want with my child. And the child is sitting with a huge hole in its head because radiation does have an effect on the human body. How dare all of you? It's not rocket science, people. And you've allowed the fancy words and the fancy terminology and the men in black and all of these beings that walk around touting that they are so special and they are so important and they are so cloutable. Most of them are not. Most of them have no idea and they are not aligned. Most of them do not meditate. Most of them have no idea what the higher self is. Most of them have no idea what a chakra is. Most of them have no idea what consciousness is. And yet you're signing your children's and your health away to these agendas and these human testing programs and the MK Ultra and Epstein-like programs. And you're all walking off the cliff and the ship is sinking and you're all going with it. With these corrupt, illegal, misogynistic beings that are just using you. They're using you for information, they're using you for your energy, they're harvesting off of you, and they're doing whatever it is that they're going to do. So I want the truth being brought. My life has been the life that was taken as the voice of the innocent and the voice of all creation for ascension. Because I can see into things you don't think I can see, and I can hear, and I know. Source shows me I am that I am, and I will be protected. Everybody has known since day one, those involved in the corrupt, dark shadow government, of what has been involved in my life and how I've been shuffled off to here, how everything has been a setup and how these people have been targeting me since day one. I've only had 3 years of my life where nobody has touched me and my body has been allowed to heal without having black magic, corruption, warfare sent to me and on me and of me. And the fake ass families and the fake ass friends and the people being sent to me to take me out in however can be done. And you haven't, and I've survived. I am the example. I am the role model through the Holy Creator, the Creator. And the churches will come down that don't operate in the highest will of the Creator. Whether it's a business, whether it's a school, whether it's a hospital, whether it's medicine, whether it's a mad scientist working for the minions, it doesn't matter. You will all come down and you will all face your judgment, as you've been told 100 times. I don't think, if you call yourself so smart and elite, you shouldn't think it would take 100 times to say the same thing, but apparently it does. So here we go again. If you do the logic and the math and you put all the evidence on the table of any one situation, whether it's the shadow government thinking that they have continued control over my life and my information and my truth and still not bringing it forward in the papers and the documents that I've asked for, which is very basic, bare minimum, human rights, within my human rights, within the legal laws, these are all basic human rights things. And yet there's absolute fact and there's absolute people on the planet that have been held within human experimenting, human agendas, and been a part of MK Ultra and the damages it does to the soul of every MK Ultra victim. The damages that are done in a black occult cult in one city and one community, and the damages done and the families that are affected by the voodoo and the lies and the fabrications that are done, and the children that are affected by every home that black magic is done in. Everything is being very blatant to all of you. You can no longer slough off your responsibility of doing the right thing. You can no longer do this. You have to be responsible for what you see, what you hear, and what you know is going on and calling it. If you're not going to the authorities and saying what you know, and if you're not going to make it right in your neighborhood, then you will get your judgment and you will get your karma. Sacrificing is premeditated murder. It doesn't matter what secret little office you play in or what badge is on your shoulder. Sacrificing is murder, period. Whether it's in the back forest of Africa, whether it's in your dark witch little coven place, whether it's in the underground of a church, it does not matter. It is murder, and you will be called on it, and I hope to see you in the highest of courts. And I will read your soul, and so will Anubis. And you will either continue on to eternal life realms, and you will still pay your judgment, or you won't. You'll go off to Epstein Earth, and you'll play with Epstein. Play with all the Epstein little minds doing black things and just hating on each other and ripping each other apart until there's nothing left of each other. I mean, there's cannibalism going on there, so why not? There's everything else dark that you do, so why not? We can learn from this darkness and we can actually move forward. Or you can continue playing the same silly games where you're making bets against God. It's been very blatant, but I guess everybody needs it to be more so. Because it's your judgments and your beliefs about a divine feminine coming forward and being a Messiah and speaking such truths. Things are truths, and now you're seeing it fall down, you're seeing it break, and you're seeing it put in stall mode. Okay, so sit and stall. Now what are you going to do? There is the infinity. Draw it out every day. And everything that you do, any decisions that you make, draw the infinity out. There's a negative on the left, there's a neutral in the middle, and there's a positive on the right. Anything that you do is going to end up in one of those ways. That's the reality you manifest. Same quantum law. Every single human on this planet has its rights to its expression and how it chooses to be. Every human comes with its unique DNA from all the galaxies, all the planets, and all the existences that it's ever had, because it is in an existence of its reality and all the timelines that it belongs to, all the realms and all the universes and all the planets and all the councils and all the experiences that it belongs to. And it's a dynamic human. It has DNA that is allocated to various hybrid species, whether it be the cetaceans in Sirius, whether it be the unicornians, whether it be the insectoids. Everything is held within the DNA, and it has a beautiful story to tell about how vast and how wide we are in the absolute multiverse. And the more light you take on, and the more acceptance and love and honor you take on, the more compassion you take on to say, in all love and acceptance, all species on this planet is a part of Source Creator. Source Creator is a part of all of it. So who is anybody on this planet to say that that species, that wolf, that dog, that woman, this breed, that color, this border, Israel, not Israel, Judaism, not Judaism, is Bethlehem, not Bethlehem, Russia, China? It doesn't matter what the word is. It doesn't matter what your separation word or story is. There is nobody on this planet that states that any one of you is higher than anyone, and none of you dictate over another, whether it be country water, pipeline, gender, child, belief, school, theology. It doesn't matter what you call it. Every aspect of life is to be respected unto itself. And I bring up those that are called LGBTQIA2S+, and however and whatever that these beings of the hybrid species choose and the human species choose to call themselves, what is it to any of you? If we can have 1,000 different penicillins, but they're all penicillin, and all of them have different names and different attributes, what is it to you? If there are 100 different ways that we can describe politics, and they have their different parties and their different beliefs, what is it to you? If there are infinite ways that a divine feminine can see its unfolding of any lifetime, of any planet, in any creation, whether it be a multiverse, whether it be a galaxy, whether it be a planet, whether it be a state of consciousness and just beautiful light or beautiful sound, what is it to you? If there are infinite ways that any country and any way of life, whether it be a culture, whether it be a history, whether it be a tribe that wants to present itself and shake hands or wave or bow or present themselves in a certain way and wear certain materials and wear certain things, what is it to you? So if all of these things are okay on our planet, and today they are, you can go to the Middle East and women can be fully clothed in nothing and show nothing but their eyes, and that's okay. We respect that. There are people in certain cultures where they only want to shake hands. There's certain cultures where you only want to wave. There's only cultures where you bow. So we accept that. Whatever color, whatever nationality, whatever is, as long as you're respecting all that is life. So what is it to anybody? What is it to the politicians that say they're politicians and they care for the people and they're leading the people in the highest and the best? Are you aligning with universal law when you say that you will take the gender preferencing, you will take the gender ideologies, you will take the gender defining out of anything? And who are you to say so? You will fail in your programs and in your signing of your petitions. And if these people choose to go against the highest courts on your 3D planet and test it, then God will be behind each and every one of them. Because these people are here to bring forward balance from eons and eons of misogyny that have erased divine feminine, that have erased the native aboriginals, that have erased the indigenous, that have erased children, that have erased the elders, and all that's left is a middle-class white man. Because that's all that's running your systems. 98% of the systems run on the planet were born and bred and raised and written by white men. And that's why there's so much oligarchy and imbalance and misogyny and hate and separation, because these people are not healed. They're not balanced in their divine feminine energies. And everybody in this class group, if they choose to come forward and express and experience themselves from their divine intelligence of who they choose to be in any one moment, who is it to anybody? They are not the person of that soul's record. They are not the person in that soul's body. They are going to express and experience and explore who they are in any given moment. The 3 E's equals a 4th E, which is evolution. And evolution will trump everybody on this planet every time. Nobody has any right to inhibit the 4 E's to anybody's body or soul or spirit, and they will have their freedom of expression. Period, point blank. Any politician, any leader that says that you cannot express who you are and be a part of the 4 E's, you will go down. Put that in the Akash. You are not supporting the people that already don't have a voice. These people are disenfranchised because they have been given no wiser intelligence, because these are new things for our planet and it's nobody's fault. These are high vibrational beings that choose to express themselves in certain ways because of the imbalance on the planet. Do you not think that God knows what God's doing? If there is such a planet of such gross negligence of imbalance on our planet, with such misogyny and such overrun balance of separation and such negative imbalances on our planet, do you not think that Source is going to create a better balance and have something better infused? Why people like myself come forward? I'm a part of that balancing mechanism. Divine feminine needs to be heard. Higher light intelligences need to be heard, and I will not be silenced. Neither will this community. They will have their voice. And who is it to anybody to say that any one of these people shall not express themselves and explore themselves and experience themselves in their own soul's evolution? Their soul's record is profound, and it has great purpose on this planet. So allow these people to express and define themselves how they wish, and we will create laws that will accept it. As the indigenous people have rights to express themselves as a symbol. Do you see what we're saying here, delighted ones? We are going to be more accepting and more compassionate because we're going to be higher intelligent, because we are one in the all, and we will not segregate, and we will not separate, and we will say that none of these people have a voice. Absolutely they do. They are part of our rebalancing. They are a part of our evolutionary growth, and we will learn so much from this experience. There is more gained in accepting and moving around these negotiations with compassion and higher intelligence of light wisdom than shutting these people down and saying that no, they're not, and no, they're not, and no, they're not. They will be exactly who they are meant to be in their negotiation and their exploration with who they are as a divine soul. Everybody on this planet is a divine soul. Everybody has responsibility to be who they are. That's the 4 E's. That is the highest law, and I will support it. That goes in our collective one heart because they are a part of our collective. And we will make new laws, and we will make new experiences to support all peoples. And we're supporting children, we're supporting the animals, we're supporting cetaceans, we're supporting our water. We're supporting the animals that are so badly abused on this planet. There is nobody above anybody. We are one peoples, dear lighted ones. And no politician should stand in front of anybody and say, we're going to take these peoples out. We're not going to define them. Yes, we will. They will be defined however they choose. Just as an Aboriginal or a Native or Indigenous can have a symbol on their record. Anybody can choose to define and explore themselves as whoever they choose to be. They're a part of the Divine Father's plan. That's called being creative. That's called being exploratory. That's called being expressive. They have their right. And we will not move away, and we will not move away from the freedom of expression. That's how we heal, because we have been enslaved and we have been suppressed. These are my words for the collective one heart. Have I been heard, Mother, Father, for the records of the Akash for this planet? Yes, you have. It's been duly noted. I speak on behalf of those that have no voice, that have been told that they have no voice and been sent down in court. The highest courts will prevail because it is higher order. And anybody in any group, you live responsibly within the 3 E's and the 4th E. And you live responsibly in this, and you choose to express and explore yourself in however way you wish. And do it with responsibility, and do it with absolute coming forward in your communication of having respect for your fellow human. That you're going to speak appropriately and upfront so that you're giving everybody in front of you 100% knowledge and information before you go in to do anything. And we only ask that if you're choosing to go through such experiences where you're changing your body and you're changing anything about the beautiful vessel you were born in, there's reasons why you were born in the beautiful vessel you were born in. Give yourself enough time to go through your soul's record and your soul's integration and communing with your higher self and communing with spirit and communing with source before you do any bodily changes. Because you're born in your vessel for a reason, and you're bringing up great information and great mirror work for all of us. You're bringing about great information, and we're going to be bringing great research, and we're going to be bringing higher intelligent wisdoms about what truly trans is and all of the things that these people want to be defined as. Allow them. These beings are hybrids. And who is anybody on the planet to say that a hybrid can't be what a hybrid is? We're going to be having more and more diverse species on our planet. And we need to be accepting of all God's life. Isn't that the way of godliness? Isn't that the thing that you all preach in your churches? Godliness, unity, and oneness. I can't tell you how many commercials that I've heard of all these churches that say, oh, you're welcome to come and join us. Are we really? Nobody except my 2 clients have shown me that I'm okay. Nobody has reached out and said, you can be a part of our learning. I've already been a part of it. I've transcended it. That's why I won't join a cult or a coven. I'm initiated through Source Creator, the Father only. That is the only person that initiates me, is my teams and Source Creator. Those are the only beings that initiate me. I don't need the earthly things. I'm beyond it. I've transcended it. I'm teaching all of you. Transcend, please. Every single person on this planet has a mirror reflection in the dodecahedron, and they give us an example of how to be loving and compassionate and allow these people to love and to be, and to express, and to allow their creative story to be their creative story. Because you don't know what realm and what planet and what dimension and what frequency and what DNA they come from that is here to teach us and allow us to grow into unity, consciousness, and oneness and full acceptance of who we are within ourselves. So let no person stand before you and say, you're accepted, you're not, you're accepted, you're not, you're accepted, you're not. We are peoples of one, and we need better leaders. We are peoples of one, and we need higher light intelligent wisdoms, because we are a part of Source Creator, we are part of the all, and we will move into 5D. And nobody that bets against the hand of God will ever see the light of day, in which they choose to, Come forward and say, okay, Father, I'm placing it all on the table. May I bow to you and give you the respect that you deserve. Because where is the humility in any of you that are doing these things? And there will be a time where the elites and the egregious and the abhorrent human testing and the abhorrent human program and the abhorrent human hunger games, in all of the abhorrences that have been taking place on this planet that are now coming to the surface and everybody will see. Every name will be known, your businesses, your affiliates, and how much money you have made, while people like me sit homeless on the street. And I am the higher order. My word is, our evolution into expansiveness and the beings that we are meant to be and to have our own DNA activated means that everyone within us and next to us and everyone within our creative reality has a story that must be accepted as unity consciousness. We have much growth to do after the various years and religions and beliefs and systems of church and state have kept us in such separate ideologies of being less than, restricted, and even enslaved. All peoples on this planet will have the freedom of expression and their ability to discern who they are within themselves and what they choose to express and explore. And then in all great duality to bring in harmony through healing and through acceptance and integration. For every person is responsible for who they are and bringing full communication to every and all people they choose to engage with, whether it be sexually or whether it be in higher intelligence. Nowhere is their soul's blueprint anywhere that any human can say they have say over. And we've been saying that for a very long time. Nobody on this planet has say over anybody else's soul's blueprint. Nobody. Therefore, thus then, if your brother or your sister or your child chooses to express and explore themselves as a non-binary, what is it to you? It's their soul's blueprint. We must only be careful if we don't have higher education, if we don't have higher light wisdoms, if we don't have 5D information to this because it's been suppressed, just as my teachings have been suppressed. If there is not higher intelligent teachings to the collective, then people that are in these experiences that find themselves so confused and so left out and so separate and so disenfranchised, they don't have enough information to make proper information and judgments and choices on. We must create higher information and education because we are all diverse hybrids. Each and every one of you are a version of hybrid. Everybody has celestial and alien DNA. Everybody on this planet. And it is up to nobody to say one person is accepted over another and why there has been so much disenfranchisement and the damage that it has done. And we will not go through this again. The indigenous have eons of healing to do, and the LGB, QTIA2S+ will not go through it. All people's voices are their right and their spiritual voice to their soul's evolution. Their soul's evolution is bringing forward valuable stories for us to evolve and accept in oneness and unity consciousness, because we have no idea what the beings from Sirius can teach us. We have no idea what the beings from Arcturus can teach us. We have no idea what the Cassiopeans can teach us, and each one of these are hybrids. Each one of these are aliens. Each one of these are God's people and God's children. Our planet must expand to accept all species and stop with the separation and stop with the hate and discrimination. My voice will be heard and I will be seen and I will be known throughout this entire multiverse because I already am. And my light travels. My word will be. My word is. Higher order courts are being established and anchored to this planet, and they will, because it has to match universal law. All is one, and one is all. These people have a right to their voices. Their soul's record and their soul's exploration will stand. And it will, if they so choose, and if the courts choose to continue with these disintegrations and the discriminations of taking things out, and if they choose not to align with the higher order universal laws, then anybody challenging this in any court, and if you are in alignment with universal law, the Father and the Mother and all of the heavens will support you in your court cases, and you will be guaranteed a win. Because the Father is not going to keep having the idolatry of those that think that they're going to win over the universal laws. Universal laws is unity consciousness. We are one and we are the all, and their story matters, and they will have a voice. Period. There's not going to be any longer disenfranchisement. We will heal the people. From here on out, we will have higher education, light wisdoms about why and how we feel, how we do in our bodies, about why and how we feel about we do about our sexuality, and how the lineage and the Akash and our ancestors and our familial and our church and state have all a part of healing those experiences. So let's look at healing these experiences and then choose, after you've taken some time to get an honor of your soul's blueprint and know who your soul's blueprint is and get connection with your higher self and your teams, and then you can make those decisions about any adjustments that you choose to do to your body. But know that when you choose to make changes to your body, that is still going against what you were born with. So there is still that discrepancy between the perfection that Source already knew for you. But it is a journey. It is a learning journey. So it's not up to anybody to say who's right or who's wrong. It's still going to be a learning journey. But there's absolute purpose and reason why you were born in the body you were born in. And you're here to teach all of us. We're here to learn with each other. That is my message for today. And this will go in the Akashic Law for the collective. Because these peoples will not be left out of the human voice. They are humans and they are species from other planets here to teach us valuable lessons to bring back into balance what has been so out of balance for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And we see every day that it's not working. Discrimination and separation will not work. Suppressing your people will not work. Hiding and fabricating and lying and all of these underground schemes and Epstein schemes and Black Witch schemes and Black Order schemes, whatever has been done that we've been talking about is not working, people. And if you continue, you will fail and you will lose. Everything that you think is important will be blocked from you. And every person that thinks they are elite and thinks that they are untouchable, YouTube, you absolutely will be shown that you are not untouchable. The Father is. Thine will is. Thy will be done. The growth and evolution from all that we are and have learned from such restrictions has allowed us to see how slavery and oppression and the sicknesses and the poverty to the damages to the physical body of all that is these very harmful discriminations and policies or procedures of taking anything to a law. All peoples have a right to their own freedom and their expression of the 3 E's and the 4th E, which is evolution. And there's no higher law than evolution. That is Source Creator. Source Creator is evolution. And if you want to test it, go test it. But the peoples have a right to their voice. And if they choose to follow under universal laws and Source Creator, they will be supported. And they will win. And all peoples are a part of a powerful aspect to our now growth where we're learning into the unity consciousness, whether it be indigenous people taking on symbols for their name, whether it is any creed, any person that chooses to express themselves in whatever way they so choose because of how they're moving through their own souls. You have no idea about the intricacies and about the depths and about the beauty of any one person's soul's expression. And these people are coming out at the younger and younger ages. That's how profound these beings are. So who is anybody in a misogynistic, disconnected state and a low vibrational mind groupthink state that is not connected with Source, that is not connected with their own higher selves? Who are they to stay and make a law and pass a law that says that certain people don't have a right to define themselves in whatever way they want and do whatever it is they want? Who is anybody? Do you know the extensiveness of their soul's blueprint? Do you know that their DNA was activated to say and be and do and express and explore exactly who they were at that point in time? Do you? You don't. You have no idea about their soul's blueprint. You don't even know about your soul's blueprint. You're just making arbitrary laws because it's easier for you. It makes you feel all powerful. But you're not going to. There will be no more suppression. There will be no more delineation. There will be no more of the oppression and the slavery that has been going on this planet. And my word is higher order. And anybody that chooses to fall in line with the higher order and the universal laws, you will be supported in every way, whether it's taking claims to court, whether it's doing whatever. And we are going to do it peacefully. There will be no more protests. We will create peaceful resolve and we will build higher bridges because we are higher vibrational intelligence. And we will wrap circles around anybody that chooses to test us in the higher courts. And again, we are learning as a collective of one. Everybody's voice matters. The elders matter. Those that are not 33rd degree Masons matter. Those that are divine feminine matter. And they will have the highest careers that they so wish and they so choose. Their voices matter. Their expertise matters. Their visions matter. Their dreams matter. Their intuitiveness matters. Their powerfulness matters. Every single one of them matter. The indigenous peoples matter. Their voice matters, their songs matter, their shamanisms matter, and they will reteach us and they will re-educate us on the shamanisms of the land and the herbs of the land and the tinctures of the land and the way that the land moves and the way that the animals move and the air and the breath and the stones move. Because they are wise peoples, and we will integrate them once again. Until we walk forward, dear lighted ones, and we welcome all species on our planet, because it is no good if the whole galaxy knows that we are such misogynistic, arrogant people where we're only going to accept those of the highest male voice in the most elite people in the most high addresses on the planet, and those are the only people that matter. Or the ones that belong to big pharma companies and write the laws for big pharma while everybody else loses, and cancer is still continuing when there's been cures for cancer for quite some time. There's been nothing but slavery on this planet, and you all know it. And I've been an example of it, where there's been everybody benefit but me. So everybody that has made a benefit and their monies, you absolutely know if you want to make it right for me, you've been told how. Send the checks and all that you owe and the statements and the information, everything that you know, go to the authorities. And the drafts can be sent to my bank because there's cameras everywhere and they all know me there. They know the real version of me, not the fabricated doppelganger, not the clone version, but they actually know me. You think that you bet against God and see what happens. And the highest of the highest realms and the highest energies and the highest love and the highest grounds and the highest seeds of the planet and the highest gardens and the highest energies and the highest angels and the highest elements and the highest fairies and all that is the power of light and love. And that has absolutely Jupiter's power over anything that thinks that they're going to control and suppress and dominate and break a soul because you want to handle us and traffic us. And you will be sadly mistaken once again. But sit where you sit. It's your choice. You have your right to the 4 E's. I am speaking on behalf of every human on this planet and the one collective heart, and it absolutely will include LGBTQIA2S+. And each person that comes forward is non-binary, each person that comes forward as a trans, each person that comes forward and they're having in their communication they wish to be gay for now, or they wish to be this for now, or they wish to be that for now, then so be it. Express it in responsible, mature communication so that nobody is hurt or harmed. And give yourself at least 6 months to work with your teams before you go into any changes within the body, because you're vast, your soul is so vast, and your soul is so dynamic, and your soul is here to teach so many people. And we never ever want anybody to feel suppressed and less than in our collective. Your voices are important. Your experiences on this planet are important, and instead of suppressing it and going to the underground to explore the sexual experiences, you must come forward and express it in a responsible way and heal your wounds. Anything that is done in the underground is because you're refusing to face what is going on within you, and it will only get darker, and it will only get more separate, and it will only get more confusing, and it will only get more dark. Heal and face what is before you. I am the voice for the collective heart. I am higher order. And we will be taking no such peoples out of our definitions or how we choose to explain and express ourselves. And I can change my name tomorrow if I wish. And I can change my name to an archangel tomorrow if I wish. And I can change whatever I choose to express and explore in however way I wish to, because God gives me that authority. We are here to heal many discriminations and separations and the discrimination we've had against anything that is outside of whatever has been conformity. Church and state will have its transformation, and we'll keep the best of whatever has been working, and we will rewrite what needs to be rewritten. And it will include all peoples. And there will be no more government, high elite, underground, hidden shadow, CIA, FBI, whatever the letters are, it doesn't matter. There will be no more human testing and human programming. There is no universal law that states any of this has been okay. None of it. None of it's okay. No child, no person will be sacrificed. If you choose to go about these things, you will be pressed and charged with murder. And you've been told this many times. It's not rocket science. Do the math. It's common sense. We're speaking for the higher order of the one human heart. Thank you, Holy Spirit. We wish that these informations and the resonances be made as we move forward in the newer star of our foundations of who we are as a one peoples. And have everybody come forward and absolutely be grateful and be appreciative of who you are with the divine creator moving forward in such beautiful, benevolent times. These words and these teachings and these offerings have never been done before, and you're a part of it. Can you be a part of unity and oneness? Can you build bridges of higher resolve and compassion and balance and unity? Can you build bridges in your community? Can you come forward and say, let's put all the chips on the table and let's just forgive each other? Can you build bridges and accept one is the all and all is one? Regardless of what kind of God they speak of and how they work with their energy and how they work with nature and how they work with their higher selves and their spirit guides? Just have no interference with any other, because you don't know their soul's vastness. You don't have any idea about their soul's blueprint. So get away from them and stay out of their energy. You don't have a right to be in their energy or use it or put it on a piece of paper and trade it. Again, these are common sense, but it's been so absolutely corrupted, and we're fixing it and we're healing it, and we will continue to do so. Take a deep breath, dear lighted ones. The rights of every human and the rights of every soul will be honored and will be accepted into the higher order of laws. And those that so choose to follow universal laws, so be it. And those that choose not, so be it. And you will be exactly where your energy vibration is. That is the universal law of quantum mathematics. You are your vibration, and that will be your reality. I only speak truth in what I'm offered and what I'm shown and what I'm excited and passionate to ensure that every voice on our planet and every voice within our collective is heard and valued as equal, as they are all source creator. And in this divine light beings, I am Celeste. I wish you all the very best. Anybody that would like a session, a lecture, a class, anything that you'd like to talk about as far as ascension or collaborations, you can contact me in my PayPal, paypal.me/Joanna L. Ross. We love you very much. We love you and adore you. And I'm so grateful to have LGBTQIA2S+. So thank you so very much for allowing me whatever voice that I'm able and I'm provided to be inspired to come forward and only offer what is going to be for the collective way of allowing the evolution to continue, which is the highest passion that I have, is for the highest voice of humanity to be heard. For the hearts of one, we all choose to move forward in our level of oneness and to be heard and known and to be accepted in the bodies that we want to express ourselves and explore ourselves on, and allow ourselves to learn who we are and be that mirror for all others that need to step out of the conformity box and out of the slavery box and out of the discrimination box and out of the box of telling other people where they are and what they're going to do. We're going to be a peoples of one, and we want to also welcome all of our celestials of great love and great families throughout our entire multiverse and our galaxy. We love you so very much. We thank you so very much for protecting us and guiding us, and thank you for being our spirit guides. For all of them are so very unique in how they choose to define themselves and classify themselves as, and how should we be a guide or a judge or make rules on these things. So let's put ourselves back into a humility bracket and know that all beings and species are an aspect of source, and they're here to teach us into our compassionate and our oneness factor. So we love you, dear lighted ones. We love you very much. Any donations, I would absolutely love it. I'm still working on rebuilding my life, so I would love to have any donations and any bookings. That would be wonderful. Get in touch with me through PayPal, and then the bank address for those of you that are going to be sending me things. Do you need to come with the statements of all that's been done? We love you, and we're saying namaste.